Chicago Fire is a highly successful TV series, and its fans eagerly await the release of its 11th season. They begin to wonder about some of their favorite characters. Chief Boden is one of the most popular characters on Chicago Fire, and at the moment, fans want to hear everything there is to know about him and the actor that plays him. So stay tuned to today's video as we discuss some need-to-know details, including how old Chief Boden is. First up, we have how old exactly is the character Chief Boden. Chief Wallace Boden is one of the original characters of Chicago Fire, and is one of the most important and influential in the fan base. There are many characters that stand up in the Elder section as being some of the most experienced characters in the show, but none stands up to Chief Boden when it comes to this. From what we've heard, he's seen and done all of it, and has some insane credentials to back everything up. One of the biggest questions fans have asked for a while now is how old exactly is Boden? He's worked all these years and has been putting fires out for seemingly decades, but doesn't actually look that old. In fact, he looks pretty young for someone who is not much experienced, so fans have been asking how old he is. The show itself has never actually stated the age of the character, but we do know some of the things that he's done in the past while he's been a firefighter. He served in the Navy SEALs and even has a SEAL trident framed in his office. He was also a firefighter in New York and was confirmed to be one of the firefighters on duty during 9/11. The show also said that he was a member of the rescue squad fought in Chicago. Season 6 is where we get a good glimpse at the bars and stars on Boden's sleeve, showing that he's been a firefighter for at least 35 years. That means that he's been a firefighter since at least 1982, which if aligned with the actor's actual birth date, makes him around 60 years old. He was 20 when he became a firefighter, so being around 60 makes a lot of sense. Usually, writers try to align their characters with the actor's age if they can, as it makes things much easier to write and base the character on. If you have a 60-year-old man playing the 30-year-old, it doesn't really make sense. You can see problems like this in shows like Riverdale, where you have mid to late 20-year-olds playing teenagers, and it just doesn't work. If we think he's around 60 years old, it makes a lot of sense and shows that the character has a lot more experience than we might think. He's been through all the age shows. However, just looking at him, you wouldn't think he was 60. Well, now that you know how old he possibly is, what do you think about this? Please let us know in the comments section below. And also, tell us what age you thought he was before we told you. And now, on to some other television news. Next up, HBO Max is on the decline, merging with another company to stay afloat. After the rise of streaming platforms like Netflix and Disney+, HBO made their own platform for their own series. This is where HBO Max came from, and it's a great purchase for those of you in America, or at least was. This new platform had basically everything you could want, from Game of Thrones to many other massive series owned by HBO. Over the past few years, HBO has even been set to make feature films for the platform, showing that streaming is the way forward for their releases. They even partnered with DC to make a brand new Batgirl movie specifically for the platform. However, over the last few days, it was reported that Batgirl has in fact been shelved and will no longer release in any form, even though the film was at the end of its post-production process. This basically means that the film could release within a few months after it had been approved, but they have written off the film so it cannot release at all. Fans went crazy at DC and HBO because this is unprecedented and has never been seen before. Even some of those who'd worked in the industry for around 20 years said that this is one of the dumbest and craziest things that they have ever seen. It seems like DC and HBO have something going on in the background, and this film just wasn't going to perform as well as they wanted it to. From inside information, it's been revealed that they canceled this film as a tax write-off, claiming it as a financial loss for the company. If this is true, they can't even release this project for free, as they're not allowed to monetize it in any way. The only way for this film to release is if someone leaks it online, which will most likely happen over the next few months, as the film is basically complete. Another big thing that came out of this is that HBO Max are actually downsizing and planning to merge with Discovery+. While this merger sounds amazing for the company, it actually shows that the HBO Max system is failing and they aren't making as much money as they want to. As well as this merger, they're actually laying off around 70% of the development staff in order to save around $3 billion in merger costs. This announcement hasn't been officially confirmed, but is expected to be announced on Discovery Day, which is on the Thursday the 4th of August this year. Despite the fact that both companies have around 100 million users combined, it's clearly not doing enough in terms of numbers for either platform, meaning that this merger only makes sense financially. In the past, Warner Brothers were clearly committed to releasing projects specifically made for HBO Max on the platform, but now seem to be moving back to theatrical releases as they feel like the streaming platform has completely failed. Batgirl, for example, wasn't even that much compared to other superhero blockbusters, but was still a very big budget for a streaming platform. Another film that was canceled, though it was completely done, was the Scoob prequel. This film was set to follow the Scooby Gang as they were children. It's another film that's been canceled despite it being basically done, and the animators are not happy with this fact. Many of them took to social media to talk about how this film took them years to make, and that some of them even left the company because of the stress they were under creating it. It's just sad that HBO and Warner Brothers are doing these massive projects, and that they will probably never see the light of day in an official manner. Batgirl was one of the most anticipated movies for DC, as it was one of the first movies set after DC's The Flash. The Flash is also a movie that we don't know what's going to happen with, as Ezra Miller has been going on a rampage in Hawaii and Florida for the past few months. He's currently on the run from police, and Warner Brothers don't know whether to release the new Flash movie or to completely cancel it altogether. Clearly, there's a lot of problems going on inside DC Warner Brothers on HBO, but canceling these films outright, especially ones that are basically done, makes no sense. Hopefully Batgirl gets leaked online soon enough, so fans can experience the first movie of its kind. And finally, Stranger Things Season 5 is currently being written. With the release of Stranger Things Season 4 and the announcement that Season 5 would be its last, fans have been waiting to find anything out about Season 5 that they can. Season 5 is definitely a few years out. It looks like they've just started writing the project. Through a social media post on Twitter and Instagram, we got to see the writers' room's board with Season 5 circled in the middle of it. It's great that Season 5 is now being worked on, as fans definitely want Stranger Things as quickly as possible. Of course, we won't be getting any information on the series over the next year or so, as they'll be hiding while writing this phenomenal finale. We might get tiny teases here and there, but don't expect anything massive, as they obviously haven't even written the scripts yet. They know what they're doing though, as the season has been planned out for years now, according to the Duffer Brothers, so it just takes the scripts to be written and the filming process to begin for us to get some sort of hints from the set. We can expect filming to begin early next year, or even in the middle of 2023, and the project to release late 2024 or early 2025. All we know about the next season is that there's going to be a time jump, and we can't wait to finally see these characters as their actual ages. And that's the end of today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this latest video. If you did, would you please let us know down in the comments section below. It would be very helpful. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and of course subscribe to the channel with the notification bell rung. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye.